Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a little change around tonight. Justin is going to be chair tonight, sit chair, and I'm going to sit second position. I had eye surgery and I can't see, so please forgive me for that. But go ahead, Jess. These people don't want to speak. Oh. Thank you. There you go. All right. Well, hello, everybody. We got a call to order, right? It's 5:35. Board of Adjustment Castle Hills is called to order at 5:35 in City Hall. To a quorum is present, and we'll consider the published agenda. Do I have a motion to consider the agenda? Mr. Lopez, a second. All in favor? Unanimous, okay. Item number 3, a public hearing on application from Regan Rath for variances for new driveways, which will exceed the total maximum coverage of a residential lot on a property located at 119 Shalimar Drive, CB 5682F, Block 3, Lot 15, contrary to Section 50-64, area regulations. E, buildings and structures on any one lot must not cover more than 1/3 to the entire lot area of the Castle Hills Local Code of Ordinances.
You have to open the meeting at.
Oh, I thought, okay, sorry.
Open the public hearing.
Open the public. It's 5:37. It's 5:37. We're now opening the public hearing. Is there anyone here that would like to discuss or be heard? Like to be heard on this issue? Since there's no one to be heard. Thank you. Since there is no one to be heard, it is closed at 5:37. Do I have a motion to discuss? So moved. All right, seconded. Okay. The applicant, can you step up, please, and discuss?
Hi, how's it going? Joe Carranza here with my wife, Regan Rath, and we're applying for the variance. So the house was first built in the 70s. It had already exceeded the impervious coverage. And we're seeking to reduce that impervious coverage by approximately 5%. And in so doing, improving our driveway. Really, the crux is the driveway is just falling apart and we just need to redo it.
Does anybody have questions? Mr. Lopez.
So the last time y'all were here, there was a bunch of different things. Now we're just strictly only going to talk about the driveway.
That's right. Yeah. So we dropped all those just based on the neighbors' concerns and fixed a few things that they brought up. This is just for the driveway.
So Casita's gone, all that stuff's out. So
All
we're
that
talking about
stuff's
the driveway.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I don't have any questions. No.
Okay.
None. Okay, then we close it. No, it's been made in motion. It's been made in motion. Let's vote. All that say aye. It's unanimous.
That's good. Thank you.
Okay. Now we're moving on to issue number 5, public hearing on application from Ziga Architecture Studio PLLC for variances for a new detached garage, which will exceed the total maximum coverage of a residential lot and encroach upon the side yard setbacks and setbacks from their principal structure on a property located at 113 Sheffield, CB 5007A, Block 12, Lot 2, contrary to Section 50-64 area regulations. E, buildings and structures on any one lot must not cover more than 1/3 of the entire lot area. Section 50-64, area regulations, B, side yard. The minimum side yard setbacks for all buildings and structures shall be 10 feet, except that on a corner lot, the street side yard shall be not less than 20 feet. And section 50-36, requirements applicable to all districts. F, C, there shall be a minimum spacing of 10 feet between any detached ABSU and the main building and any other ABSU on the property of the Castle Hills Local Code of Ordinances. It's now 5:40. I'm going to open a public hearing. Is there anybody that wishes to be heard on this matter? Since there's no one to discuss or to be heard, we will close public hearing at 5:40. Do I have a motion to consider?
So moved.
Oh, here we go.
Seconded by
Seconded by Mr. Lopez and Cassidy. Okay, can we have the applicants up?
Good evening, board members. My name is Felix Ziga. I'm the architect for the project.
You can go ahead. Do you have a slide or anything that you wanted to show, or
Um,
just what we have here?
I believe, yeah, the packet is what we submitted. There's really, the homeowners want a garage, a detached garage, and there's really no other place to put it. So that's why we're asking for some of those variances. The house as it is right now is already exceeding the lot coverage area, so it's one of those things where, you know, that one is, I hope it's kind of a gimme, but the setbacks between the main structure and the garage and then the setback with the neighbor, those are the ones that we are asking for a variance on as well, so.
Okay, does anybody have any questions? Mr. Smiley, do you have any questions?
I do. You're the architect, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you didn't attach the garage to make it a common wall instead of presenting it with an ABSU?
So if we attach the garage, then we would be subject to the rear setback requirements for the main structure versus the rear setback requirements to an accessory structure.
And Louis, what's the difference, please?
It would, yeah. it
I
would-
got it. I
yeah.
understand. Thank you very much. That was my biggest question on the whole thing. Thank you.
Does anybody else have questions? I have a question. Your application says you needed additional parking. This picture, is there already a two-car garage attached to the house?
There is, but the homeowner, he has a car collection.
Okay,
Mhm.
and then from this rendering here, it looks like there's a lot more space to this two-car garage. Is that what's
That's
going on with that
uh,
portion?
a workshop so he can work on his cars. He's a car
Okay.
collector.
And is it going to be one story or two stories?
One story is the plan right now.
Okay, that's all the questions I have. Anybody else have any
There's
questions?
an alley behind that house, isn't there?
There is,
So there's
so-
fire truck access back
Mhm.
there. Okay.
and there's also the garage design as a drive-through garage, so they can drive from one driveway back to the alley, vice versa.
Mr. Lopez, do you have any questions?
No issues, for as far as draining of water goes or anything?
Not that we're aware of. Everything seems to drain back to the street or back to the alley.
And is there gonna be plumbing in that shop also?
We don't have plumbing in the design right now. No, no plumbing right now.
That's all I got.
Is there any letters from any of the neighbors?
Not that we know of. I mean, we didn't get anything.
Mr. Rapley?
None that we've received. Nicole, anything?
Any questions have been answered? It's gonna be lower just because of the roof plates. We're still playing with the roof shape. He does want to have be able to put in car lifts. So we're trying, but our goal is to keep it under the peak, the ridge height of the main house. And it's also in the back, so.
And I have a
Is it-
question. So
sorry.
will this always be classified a garage slash workshop? Does that, will that always run with the deed, or can that be could turn into a house later on, or what?
Louis? If this is converted to the use of the ABSU, if it's converted to another use, would we need to come back, or is this now a variance where they could turn it into a rental unit or something like this, a guest house?
So to answer the questions directly as you posed it, the answer is no for short-term rental. The answer is no for a second house on a lot. That's against every zoning principle in the state. But to answer the broader question, it can be changed into a habitable structure. And it can be used as a habitable structure as long as that habitation falls within the parameters of the code that limit the use of it as a habitable structure. But I think I know where we're going with this. There's no prohibition saying they can't turn it into a guest house in the future. They can for occasional non-paying guests or staff in support of the residents of the main structure. That's exactly what the code says.
But to clarify, for plumbing and things like this, they would have to come back to the city for, or even augmentation of these plans. If they decide to put plumbing in or something like that, they have to come back for permitting. Is that
For
correct?
permitting, correct.
Perfect.
Yes, but no variance or anything like that.
Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that answers my question.
Other than the rear exit garage, or there's no one outside of the garage.
No. Mainly for security reasons.
For the driveway, is this the max, or I guess, is there any way to come more into your property line, or is it, that's what you need to get the two cars in there? There's no way to, like, maybe turn it a little bit, or,
Yeah, that's what we need to be able to get two cars in there and for the existing garage to still have maneuverability in front of it.
okay.
Yeah, so if we go to the right, the two cars wouldn't fit anymore.
So if the two-car garage, the current one was not there, then maybe we could scoot it over a little more and
Right.
not be so close to the neighbor.
Right.
Okay.
Another question, you talked about a driveway, a drive-through garage. I see no accommodation for a rear pavement issue after the garage. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, it would be done during permitting, the driveway modifications.
I think it should be very, very much understood. If we need to write it in, Louis, let me know. That should be an impervious cover.
Okay.
It should be used by vented pavers or something like this.
I think it's clear to talk about a driveway on the drive-through toward the back that has not been represented in your plan tonight.
I mean, it's there right now. It would tweak, the driveway does go all the way to the alley already. We would modify it slightly so that it lines up with the garage doors. Cause right now it's just on the property.
Okay, I
line.
just didn't see a driveway on these drawings, but it's there now.
Is that
Mhm.
modification? Is the proposed modification?
No, but the modification would be the exact same square footage. Yeah.
You would have to write it in, Chairperson. You'd have to write it in because it's not represented in his package. That extension that he's proposing to line up to the garage doors, that's outside the purview of the ask in this application as presented, but that doesn't mean that you can't approve it. You just kind of need to let me know so I know how to write the variance letter tomorrow.
Okay,
In this picture, the current driveway, although very lightly shaded, is represented. If you, whatever you're gonna do, remove.
The tweak. Yeah.
so it's gotta be delineated out. See how we meant this.
The question would then be expanded on the amount of impervious cover, just FYI.
That's correct. That was my point.
And just a further note, the drawing does take a line on this would be on the west side, goes all the way to the back property line. It's just not a delineation, but east.
Right, so the driveway's there right now. What's gonna happen is that driveway's gonna get removed, or at least where the building is going. So it's gonna be fully removed, and then it's gonna shift where the garages are. So if anything, we're probably gonna reduce, or it would stay the same, the impervious cover.
Okay, I have a suggestion, and this is going to go to permitting. Okay, we're not approving any variation of the driveway at all tonight. That's not part of the scope. If you were to do some demolition of existing driveway, since you're only talking 5 feet for the width of the thing, I would really strongly suggest that you explore the entire demolition with some impervious pavers. That way you don't have to come back to us for a change. Is that reasonable, Louis?
Yes, sir. It's reasonable, and it's also reasonable that if he came up with the calculation of actually scooting that driveway over to where he wants to on his drawing, as you look at it to the right, to line up, and the impervious cover calculation is the same, then it's cool, because you're approving a number. You're not improving a
No,
placement.
no, I agree with that. And what I'm saying is, but keep that in mind in your design.
If we need it. yeah.
Otherwise, please understand, you're going to have to pay again and come back to see us again.
Okay,
And none of us want to have you go through that.
understood. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, as is. Motion's been made and seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those that say aye. That's unanimous.
One thing that's not on the agenda this time that was supposed to be this month was the suspension of the December meeting. It is, are we having a November meeting, Louis? Thank you very much, guys. Do we have anything on for November?
November, not to my knowledge, or maybe one in December.
We're not having a meeting in December.
There's the answer. to that.
Now, I can do that as chair, or we can vote on it. Which one do you prefer?
I think you could do it as chair.
Okay, done as chair. We're not having it's the day after Christmas. We're not doing that. Okay, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be pushy, but.
I
Does
think,
anybody
I
disagree
think
with
it would
that?
have to, it would have to be on the agenda to move the meeting.
No,
If we move the meeting in that month, we'd have to have it on the agenda.
no, let's not go through that. I mentioned this 3 months ago. It was supposed to be put on the agenda for tonight. It wasn't. So if there's no objection from the board to doing that, I think the chair should recommend that we don't have a meeting in December.
I recommend that we don't have a meeting in December.
There's no objection.
Is there any objections to that?
Sir.
No, sir.
There are no objections. Thanks, everybody. The meeting is closed, 5:52.
Great. Thanks a lot, guys.
Did those ladies need